Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show. Now, this week, I want to talk to you about water park tips. Now, as we know, that at the moment, only Blizzard Beach is working right now. There's the possible rumor that Typhoon Lagoon will reopen early next year, but you never know at this point. Anyway, so there are a lot of good ways to make sure you have an enjoyable day at the water parks, because the water parks are a great extension to the theme park experience. Because when you think Disney, you don't just think a plain old water park, you think beyond. So some good ways to enjoy a good day at Blizzard Beach is make sure what we do when we go to Typhoon Lagoon is that we call in advance and rent a cabana, because it's a good way for my mom to get some shade and me to get some shade, because and our cabanas are roped off away from other people so that they don't try to storm in. It's like having our own little private piece of the park. Then we put our stuff there and we just have fun. Now, you gotta make sure that you have some good, trying to say it. Try to get everything all at once before the slides get busy, especially if you want to do Summit Plummet. Now, the last time we went to Blizzard Beach, it was back in 2014, and my dad and I took the ski lift up to get there, and it stopped so many times. And if you want to talk about stuff getting stuck too many times, you keep watching for the next few minutes. But anyway, so you want to make sure that you hit the big water slides first, like Summit Plummet or Crush and Gush or Misadventure Falls at Typhoon Lagoon, assuming it opens. But you got it. Then make sure that you find a good place at the water park to get some food. Both of the water parks have great places to provide food and some merchandise and stuff. And there are some things at the water parks that you won't even find at the theme parks. And that is especially cool. So if you ever go to Disney and you have a day that isn't a theme park day or just a regular chill day, make sure that you have a day to go to a water park, because the water park days are just as fun as the theme park days. So anyway, that's my tip. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. Now, going back to what I said about the chairlift. You know that feeling when you ride a ride and you're having so much fun, and then suddenly something happens that causes it to stop? Kind of kooky, isn't it? Well, it happens a lot more than you think. So this week, we're going to cover the top 5 ride glitches that we've encountered. Number 5, this should surprise no one right now, the People Mover. Of course, the People Mover reopened this past April, 2 days after we came back from our April trip. But when we did, and it tends to stop many times. Or the other day, I was watching a live stream from Resort TV 1, and the ride stopped 8 times. And that was just 5 times before the ride even started moving. And hopefully they're trying to figure out a way to make sure the People Mover operates without it stopping multiple times in a day. Here's hoping, am I right? All right, number 4, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Now, our past October trip when we rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I have a video of that coming up in the coming months. But we were about to enter the dance scene with Daisy, and then suddenly the ride just stopped because some parent had their kid on their lap, and because of that, we went through the ballroom scene and it went completely silent. And that was very funny. I have, again, that video is coming up, so stay tuned for that if you want a huge laugh. Anyway, number 3, Splash Mountain, another ride that has some vehicle trouble. Now, back in April of 2013, my dad and I were next in line to help on the logs, and then suddenly everything just stopped. And then 15 minutes later, the ride started, and we didn't have our phone, so we couldn't call our mom or anything, and she was freaking out. Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Anyway, number 2, Rise of the Resistance. Now I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you saw the first Rise video that we put on this channel, where the ride just glitched out at the end of the escape pod scene, and it took like 15 minutes to get us out. I edited that part of the video, obviously. It was kind of interesting. And the number 1 ride glitch, one that we did not film, August 2019, we were on the Jungle Cruise, and we were right up to the welcoming party scene, and then as luck would have it, the boat before us just ran out of gas. So they had to take our boat backwards and their boat backwards over to the repair shop. And then we finally got to ride, and because of that we got complimentary fast passes. Remember when we had fast passes and that they were complimentary when things broke down? Hopefully that happens with the whole Genie Plus thing. Anyway, that's my tip. Let me know in the comments if you've had any ride glitches when you were at the parks. So, Halloween's over, and Christmas has begun at the Magic Kingdom. The tree is already up. The decorations went up after midnight, and the Jingle Cruise is up in Adventureland. If you've seen our Jingle Cruise video from 2019, I have a Christmas playlist of our Christmas videos from 2019. And so make sure you guys check that one out. Of course, the Jingle Cruise has changed along with all the huge changes that the Jungle Cruise went through this year. Also, the decorations are up at Hollywood Studios. The tinsel stars have been up since October. And they've put the Christmas tree stroll up over at Disney Springs, and I have a feeling it's going to be a very festive year. And of course, Epcot has their Festival of the Holidays coming up on the 26th, along with their Candlelight Processional. And it's a shame that I'm not going to be there for Christmas this year, but if you're going to the parks for Christmas this year, please do, because it is unlike any other time when you're at the parks. It's like a completely different Disney, because the most magical place on earth during the most magical season of the year. So anyway, that's this week's show. As I said, let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now for this week's shout-outs, make sure you guys check out Brian and Amanda. They do amazing live streams from the parks each and every week. If you guys are looking for some entertainment to spice up your next Zoom party, make sure you contact Cameron Matthews Entertainment, and he'll put some spice into your next Zoom. Also, make sure you check out our newest shout-out, Mark, over at the Diz Life Podcast. Also, make sure you check out my buddy Julie over at Dream to Stream. She has She's planning a stream this coming week at Hollywood Studios, probably this coming Wednesday. She works at Hollywood Studios, so this will probably be like streaming from work, even though she won't be working then. Make sure you check her out. Also, for the latest attraction news, make sure you check out my good friends over at Attractions Magazine. And until next time, have a zippity-doo-dah day.